Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity of being here. Is going to be the last, interview of the section. After me, there is cocktail, so it's a big responsibility. Apart from joke, I am a colonel from Italian Guardia di Finanza, but I do work for National Cybersecurity Agency in Italy. What I'm introducing now, it's a concrete case of cyber resilience and cyber prevention through blockchain analysis. So first things, who we are, National Cybersecurity Agency. Well, as I say, we are focused on prevention, on resilience. So it's not an investigative body, but is a body that is newly in Italy and is focused on prevention. So we have a new different task, a new goal, how to prevent the attacks, how to mitigate them, how to save the infrastructures and the Italian interest. So it's a very different approach to the matters. This is our structures. I take the occasion of say thanks for being here to Prefetto Milena Rizzi, who is one of the central director of the agency. And thanks for giving me the opportunity of being here and make this speech. Our idea is to create, together with Chainalysis, but not only, also thanks to other bodies that will participate, to a sort of new approach to the blockchain analysis. Blockchain analysis for cyber resilience means prevention and a very deep and important approach. Like the goal is it possible to use these tools? And is it possible to focus the new technologies not only on investigation? Because this starts from my experience, as a commander of operative units. I believe that it's not the technology itself the important things, it's what you do with the technology. If you take the technology and you use for your scope and your purpose, you will certainly be successful. So this is a new challenge that we make together with the team of Chainalysis. Erin Plant is helping me with her team in developing this new idea, and we are going for a sort of a concrete example. Our task is to realize a national center of excellence in Italy. I know that there are in other countries, and the idea is already being used from other bodies. But my goal is to realize these three objectives. First things, we want to make a deep analysis about the main crypto activities to prevent actions. And now I will show you what I mean for this and how we do it. Second things, I want to support the national critics infrastructures for increasing the level of resilience. How? By providing them informations and possibly patches and helps when they are under attacks. Third things, we want an active cooperation with all the national institutions and companies to prevent and mitigate the cyber risks. So what I mean for this is that, as Prefetto Milena Rizzi is always saying, without cooperation and without the people having a role as a team, there is not any possibility to tackle these attacks. So I start my idea by developing what was my experience regarding the criminals. First things, we all know that concerning the attacks at the moment, the main markets, are services of attacks that can be bought from everybody. So it's difficult that you find a national state who is attacking and it's possible to recognize the state. It's difficult that you find criminals themselves that attacks now, and then you can try to individuate. More people normally now go get this service by buying through crypto and get services of attacks and get results. So if we put again our experience as investigator on the technique, tactics, and procedures of cyber attacks, we can analyze it and have important information on how to prevent them and mitigate. These are, as an example, some of the most important Italian private and public bodies that have been attacked in the last 2 years. And for what we understood, after the attack, it's always too late. You can mitigate, you can help the structures, but what you have to do is you have to try to prevent. So you have to work before and not only after for making investigation. In concrete, we want to build up a team of analysts that can, be focused on everything that regards services of attack. Now I will take as an example the case of ransomware. No? So ransomware as a service that is very popular and can be focused on the subjects. So as an example, in Italy, public bodies, private bodies that can be under possible interest of criminals, or simply, in general, providing us a report on possible problems from infrastructures, people that have not updated the systems, everything that can be interested on us. Of course, my idea is not only to use the software regarding the blockchain analysis. My idea is to create a unit that can be, served from many software that can be combined together. But what I want to underline today is that the blockchain analysis can be really powerful and useful for this kind of operation. Let's go from the cyber kill chain. As we all know, these are the steps that normal criminals use for attacking. You see, first one is the so-called reconnaissance. So normally the pen testers, so they go and see which kind of infrastructure do you have, how can they penetrate the infrastructure. Then you have the weaponization. They understand which kind of weapon they want to use, botnet, malware. Delivery, so how you do the attacks, how you send, the botnet, the malware, what you want. Exploitation, so brute forcing tools, exploits. Installation inside the infrastructures. And then command and control, that for me means exfiltration of data and, big interest of the company already in the black market or out from your availability. And then action on objectives, so cryptojacking, ransomware, data encryption. So the second and the last part is the one that we use then for the investigation. It's when the police arrives. So when then you have, as an example, everything encrypted and you have to work on it. Every of these single action, as you see in the middle, at the moment has a price. So there is a money that is moved in every single action, a money that is moved, of course, through the crypto. So this is some ideas we are putting down with the team to use and I would say, to make a deep reflection, through the system and the software that we use normally we use for investigation. First things, you can identify ransomware as a service developers. How you can identify? As I say, you have to make prevention and then operation after and during the attacks. So by having an idea, as an example, on which services of ransom as a service are at the moment, earning a lot of crypto, especially if they come from exchanges closest to Italy, you will definitely underline which are the most important one and the one you are more interested in. As I said before, I would mix it with some intelligence softwares, so as an example, some web intelligence or web analysis together. Then, when you have identified the sellers on darknet markets, so the last part, you can make the first connection and see by following the money, you have the developers and the sellers. And then, most important things, trends and affiliates. So as an example, we all know that in ransomware as a service, there is a commission that is being paid to people who has a role. We know that they have some services that are involved also, as an example, in the commercial part, So analyzing these flows of the cryptos, you can have important information regarding the market trends and the affiliates. Other things we want to do in concrete. The analysis is very important and deep, if can be useful also when you have then, as an example, some digital evidences. There are big companies that cooperate directly with the product and the tools that Chainalysis sells. First things, when you arrive in the place where the attack has been taken, you can definitely have evidences that, together with the blockchain analysis, give you the possibility to underline who are the attackers, which are the role in the group, who has been involved in this attack, and how it was involved, how much it was paid, how it was used, the crypto, which kind of channels. And then, the most important thing, you can make some predictive analysis of the ransomware as a service cycles. So you can try to understand by this which is going to be next target, how they are interested for Italian infrastructures, and why. And the most important things, by using the blockchain analysis, you can have correlations between ransomware as a service groups. We all know that normally is not only one service who is involved. We know that there are many services, they have a role in this. I arrive to my conclusion. So at the end, by having this analysis, we are trying to follow the Bitcoin that can give you the role of the organization, the payment of the services, and the market, Those are important information that can give you also some very important instruments to prevent and protect the infrastructure. How? If you will know before that a particular infrastructure can be involved into an attack, or that the same infrastructure has been already involved and the same attack is repeated, and this also happens many times in Italy, you can release some patches or protect the infrastructure from this particular kind of attack. As an example, in Italy, we had some attacked repeatedly with DDoS, so very easy, but they've been blocked some important services like the buses or the metro, creating big problems to the national environment. These attacks have been, repeated many times because there was no analysis on the attack and no any action to prevent them. Then, apart anticipating the action and predict the victims, you can alert the critical infrastructures and warn to improve defensive activities. We know that many private bodies has important infrastructures, important defenses, but many times they are not prepared for that typical or particular attacks. They have been studied, as we say, they made some penetration tests, but with this information you give to them, they can be ready to protect the infrastructures by alerting or using a particular kind of tools. What I wanted to show you with this presentation is that it's a different way of using the technology and the tools. I would call it a challenge because it's not normal to go in this kind of deep services and study them. But if you don't know this and if you don't work on this, you will not be able to react and to protect your infrastructure. So my idea is to develop this center of excellence with some concrete successful cases in the very next months. And that's why I want to say thanks to Chainalysis, thanks to Nicola Buonanno, thanks to Andrea Aimeric for supporting me in this big challenge. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you have a good cocktail now.